Welcome to the Productivity Mindset Show. It's another amazing opportunity to explore productivity on an intersection of due diligence, good thinking, and note-taking. I'm your host, Ajibola, and today we'll be discussing volunteering with Clement Johnson. Clement has, over the years, reaped the benefits of volunteering and selfless service, and as such would be in the best position to share with us the ins and outs of volunteering, and most importantly, how you could make the most out of volunteering. Hi, Clement.
Yo, bro. It's good
nice
to be here.
Finally have you here after a while. Okay, so let's just get the ball rolling. What does volunteering mean to you? What does volunteering mean to you?
To me personally, I would define volunteering as something you do without having the intention of getting paid. Something you do without having that intention of, oh, maybe you're going to get paid, you're going to get a reward from it. The reward might not be monetary, but definitely volunteering has a reward, but that is not what you put ahead. That's not what is in front. What is in front is actually what you want to do. So you don't even know how the reward will come, but the mindset at which you do it is the fact that you just want to get this done. You just want to do this without having the reward in mind.
Oh, okay. Does that mean that sounds like gambling? Like you don't know what's
not like gambling,
okay.
But volunteering is just something you do that maybe you love doing. Yeah, I think you must love volunteering before you actually get into it, because sometimes it comes with its own ups and downs too, and then it's sacrifice, like selfless sacrifice. So it must be something you love doing. It has its own reward. What I'm just saying is that the reward is not something that you can predict. You can't say, oh, as I'm going to volunteer today, this is what's going to happen, or this is what I'm going to gain, or it has advantage and all of that. But you can't really, that shouldn't be what is, that shouldn't be the reason you are doing it. You just go all out, you just do it because you love it, and then the dividends and the rewards will come after in different forms. You get.
Oh, okay. In that case, okay. My question is, how do you find the right volunteering opportunity?
Oh, okay. How do you find the right volunteering opportunity?
Or how do you know that this volunteering opportunity is actually the right one?
Okay, I think volunteering comes in two phases for me. There's a part whereby you volunteer for community development. That is like when you are volunteering for your cause that is going to benefit people. Like for example, now if you go for cleanups, if you go for environmental sanitations, like if you go to like sensitize people about one or two things, like doing something to contribute to the growth of your community, to community development, that is a form of volunteering that you do. And then another one is volunteering for personal development. When you get to a stage in your career, like, okay, I want to gain experience in this, I want to gain work experience, I want to learn how to do more of this and more of that. And you're like, okay, I want to volunteer. I want to use my skills for free so that I can actually get the opportunity to work in a real life scenario, work with people, get feedback from people, and build my interpersonal skills, build skills. So that is when you get intentional, because you already have an existing skill that you want to develop. You get what I'm trying to say now? Although you might not have it all figured out, but you know that, okay, you are doing this because you want to get experience, you want to get work experience. If you want to become an OAP or something, you want to become an OAP, and maybe that's not what you even did for first degree, but that is like what you like, you can decide to pick up a voluntary role in a radio station. You know that getting there, what you really want is that work experience. They might not be recruiting for anybody, they might not be calling for recruitment, but you go there like, okay, I want to come in as a voluntary intern. I did that too. I want to come in as a voluntary intern. You write a letter of intent to them, and then you go there. You have that intention in mind that, okay, as I'm here, I want to learn, I want to work, like, because when you are there, you are getting first-hand experience from everything that's going. You get to learn how to work with people. So opportunities can come from there, because even when you are doing things like that, you have to be diligent, you have to be hardworking, and if you are going to do it at all, you have to do it well, irrespective of the fact that you are volunteering for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You said that you did that, and I really want you to provide insights into how it worked for you. But before then, let me just lay emphasis on one of the things Clement just said. It's more or less like when you have an idea and you want to test it, and you don't have that large scale to launch that idea, you could actually test it on a very small scale through volunteering.
Exactly.
You want to start a waste management company, you want to start a waste management business, you could actually work with a waste management business, an existing one, so that you could actually learn the internal workings of what happens there. And you could chart a course for yourself, you could understand the inner workings better. Okay, so tell us about your experience.
How did it work for me?
Yes.
Well, out of NYSC, you get that phase when you're trying to figure out what do you want to do and all of that. But while I was still like trying to get a job or something, I was like, okay, let me just volunteer. That was when I moved to Ibadan, and I started volunteering for a waste management startup. I didn't actually start off with a particular role because I didn't even know what I was going to do. I didn't even know what path I was going to take. But I knew, okay, I had the love for the environment and all of that. And okay, this is actually a waste management startup that has an NGO too, that is Recycle Gap. They have an NGO, they do lots of projects and all that. Okay, come on, let's do it. I got into there and there were lots of things to do, from managing the NGO aspect to project management to program. So there was a whole lot. So the experience was wide. You get, so I wouldn't have gotten all of those experience. Mostly the things there is how to deal with people, how to actually do work that counts, because in that space where I was at that time, whatever we do or we don't do affects the startup. We can see it. There's no hiding place. So it put me on that spot whereby the good work I do, either I do good work, I do work that isn't good enough, it affects the enterprise. So I can see it. So it gave me it built in all those work ethic in me, how to actually work, because I knew I was volunteering, so I have to actually still show up and do good work irrespective of how I was volunteering, how to interact with people, because the enterprise, the NGO aspect had a lot of volunteers. So I had to like work with other people, learn from other people too, go out on projects. I met you on one of those projects.
Yes.
You see, I'm saying, so that's why I said, like, you really don't know what is going to happen. You really can't say, oh, because I'm going out to volunteer today, I'm going to meet someone that's going to help me to do. You really don't know. So you just go out with that open mind to go and do what you love. Then when you get there, you meet people, you interact with people, you learn from people. Some days you might go and you don't even get to exchange contacts with anybody. Some days you go, you get exchange contact with one person that will lead to another thing, that will lead to a whole number of things. So volunteering has formed a change for me. Like, if I look back at everything I'm doing now, everything I'm doing currently, I can trace it back to something I volunteered for. That has worked for me. I can't actually use my experience like to justify like every other person. People have different experiences. But for every little thing that I'm doing now, because I'm still trying to piece things together and all that. But for every little thing, if I trace it back, I can always trace it somewhere I went to volunteer, someone I met when I was volunteering. But you see volunteering there. So volunteering forms like the bedrock for me, like the basis at which my career growth and everything started from.
Oh, interesting. The truth of the matter is, I met Clement. Clement volunteered to be part of the project, and I met him, and we started discussing at the hotel room that day.
Okay, yeah, that one in Lagos.
And it was just interesting to find out that we had mutual friends who were involved in various projects, and it all had to do with volunteering. Exactly. And that's something about having an amazing network, and creating an amazing network. So I just want you to spot, apart from what you've done in the waste management space through volunteering, how you gain entry into the space through volunteering, would you like to share one or two other experiences, so that it could be of help to someone who is probably struggling with the idea of should I not?
Well, I will say this. I will share this experience. Currently, I lead communications. I now work in the communication space, and like I said, everything about me you can trace it back to volunteering. Now, I work for an NGO currently now that is into leadership, entrepreneurship, education for young people, teenagers, and I lead the communications thing. How did that start for me? It started while I was 7. While in the family house, I was managing the social media platform. While I was 7, I attended a whole lot of events. I joined a friend, Yemisi Ajojo, when she was planning and when she organized the Lorraine Digital Summit. I managed the social media there. So managing another social media that isn't mine started when I was 7, and it was through volunteering. I was in the publicity unit. So all of these skills gathered together formed like communication, because I did botany for first degree, that's plant biology. for first degree. But again, I do a lot of things around communications now and social media and content. I do that for BMON. It was all of the experience I gained when I was 7. That was what I used in my CV when I was applying to join BMON. That was in 2018, and I joined BMON, and from then till now, I manage social media of BMON. So you can see where that also came from. So it depends on if you want something and you're like, okay, I actually want to be here in the next 2 years. Maybe you do content writing, maybe you do events. It depends on what you do. As for me, I really didn't know what I was going to do doing all those things that became admin. But some people didn't know what they want to do. Okay, it's just about how to get there. So just to gain that work experience, you can just volunteer at different places, do similar things. That's why I say, if you are volunteering for personal development, and for career growth, you have to be strategic. You have to be strategic and okay, know this is what you want to do. You know, okay, if you find yourself in this space, if you volunteer in this space, it will actually help your career growth. So you just go for it. You get what I'm trying to say. You can be strategic and then you can be specific. Yeah, I think that's the word now. You can be specific about it and okay, I've spent 3 months here. This is where I'm going to. Okay, let me volunteer for this people. Okay, let me work with this person. There are people that you admire and then you're like, if you work closely with this person, you will learn a lot. How can you get to that person? You can actually volunteer for them. Do something for them. Maybe they have an event coming up. Volunteer and then you do something for them in 1 month. Do something for them. You get close to this person. You learn things from these people. You give value. When you are volunteering, that's one thing. Make sure you are giving value. Don't just go there to go and be a burden. Make sure you are giving value in that space. You give value to that person and then you also learn from that person. The person will rub off on you. You learn from that person. You also give value to that person. You help the person and you are growing. You get so yeah. It's just being about.
Okay. You just said something about value and that makes perfect sense. You know, my friend Jamie. Okay. Jamie would say that value attracts value. So it's value. It's quite important that you place emphasis on value, and that makes a lot of sense. And it's quite amazing that it's a win-win situation.
Yes. You
are giving to a course and you are receiving also. You're getting better, you're sharpening your skills. That makes perfect sense. So in the real sense of it, I think you've answered quite a number of questions about making the most out of an opportunity. But then for the sake of emphasis, if you could just list practical steps to make volunteering experience worth the investment.
Practical steps to make it worth the investment.
Yeah.
I think first you shouldn't expect too much. That's why you should love it when you are doing it.
Don't expect too much.
Don't expect too much. Don't really expect. There are people you might go to volunteer for. You might go to volunteer at some events and they won't even tell you thank you. Don't let it like.
True.
That has happened to me before while I was 7. Because while I was 7, I was a serial volunteer. Just every event and everything I was doing and I was happy. But there are some people you go to volunteer and they don't even tell you thank you. They don't even tell you. So don't expect too much, and make sure that you socialize. You meet people. I think that's one of the important things. You meet people and you interact with these people. I got the opportunity to attend the first TEDx. Like my first TEDx event I attended was because I was a volunteer. Okay. You understand? And then having skills. I think that thing that they say when opportunity meets preparation and all of that. Because at the TEDx event I went to volunteer, the convener of the program, just a few minutes to when the program was about to start, he just asked me, can you use PowerPoint? Can you control the slide? And I was like, yes, I can. And I ended up controlling the slide for the whole event. Where did I learn how to do all of that? Because back in the fellowship, I was in publicity unit and then we did a whole lot of easy worship, controlling the slide for the service and all of that. You see where opportunity, so that opportunity came and then I was able, so you should be ready, make good use of it. If you have something you do, you can't just like close your mouth. When you get there, you talk to people. If you have a business card, if you have a business, something you can have a business card. You take it to these places and tell people about what you do. If there are people that you look forward to talking to look forward to meeting, look forward to working with, when you get there, you don't like close your mouth. You go out, you socialize, you meet with these people, you talk to them, and you prepare yourself that you don't want to be a person of burden. That means you actually want to add value. You have it in mind. It is important that you actually want to add value to these people. So that's just it. You go and then you show up, you meet people, you interact with people, and you let them know what you do, And it's from one volunteering opportunity that you get to know about another volunteering opportunity. Because when you add these people up and then you get talking, you're like, oh, there's also a program coming up, and then you just go like that and like that. And I think you can also ask yourself that, what do you want to do better this time around? Do you want to smile more? So it might just be your smile. Like you might say, oh, the last time I went to volunteer, I think I wasn't really smiling, because okay, today as I'm going, I want to smile more. I want to greet people. I want to be more cheerful, even to my fellow volunteers. You get it? And then you go there, you smile, and then you attend some programs that sometimes that are going to be beneficial for you, like the people speaking and all of that. You go with your own notepad. I think that event we went for in Lagos, you know, the way everybody was talking. Yes, I had responsibility as a volunteer and everything, but I was with my daughter.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation.
I was with my daughter, and then I was jotting.
I was shocked that I had a conversation with Clement, and Clement was jotting down like, what's this? And
I was jotting because I was volunteering, yes, but then I was also in the place where the knowledge that was being disseminated is useful. Yeah, it's good for me. So I was doing my responsibility, and I was still writing something down for myself. You get, so I think enough said.
Yeah. That's sincerely. You said quite a lot, and you used concise words, and emphasis on value, being focused. Being focused is what leads to you having a strategy. Oh, okay, You've done this for 3 months. This is where you're projecting to go, and that's quite amazing. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you,
Clement. And I think that will be all for this episode. Thanks for listening. And remember, if you want to support what we do, we definitely have a lot of content for you. We have a lot to share on how you could do whatever it is you're doing, how you could do it better. You could actually just share this video or share this audio link. Either you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on a podcast. Kindly share with your friends, tell someone about it. The subscription button actually does not bite. So, and that's all for now. But I'll see you in the next episode of the Productivity Mindset Show. Bye for now.